Today in the crypto space, we see the market showing a bit of strength. Bitcoin right around the $89,000, up approximately 3%. Ethereum above the $2,000 mark, also up approximately 4%. And the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, deep in the green, Solana, Cardano, Sui, AVAX, and many others moving to much higher levels. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. But more importantly, I want to talk about one project, one DeFi DEX that is definitely hot because of Sonic, and that project is called Shadow. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market. Given the fact that Bitcoin is currently pushing to higher levels, really good stuff here. The market cap is now rising. Right now, we're at about $3 trillion, guys. I like to see this happen. Of course, an increase in market cap is great. But more importantly, guys, look at the volume. Market participation is here. This is a good signal. This is a good sign that we are showing strength here in this market. However, even though there's a spike of volume, relatively speaking, the volume is still somewhat low. On the lower time frames, it doesn't look as bad. On 1 hour, the 4 hour, but bigger picture, there's not that much volume. So the question is, do we have enough strength to break through resistance? And currently, Bitcoin is playing with that level, right around 89, 90K. These are levels where we start to get introduced to resistance, and a lot of these altcoins are also running right into the resistance. So we'll definitely take a look at some of these, and of course, we'll take a look at Shadow today. We'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart. We'll come up with a plan, because ultimately, guys, we want to stay one step ahead here. If we definitely start seeing this market run, not only should we have had our bags packed already, but in addition to that, we should be expecting that any sign of a pullback should be bought. Buying the dip is where it's at. All right, guys, let's continue. Let's see what's going on here with the top 100. We see Bitcoin doing pretty good here, running to the upside with a nice move upwards. And you can see a lot of the projects are doing the same thing. BNB showing a lot of strength. Ethereum waking up here, up 5%. We need Ethereum here, guys. We need Ethereum to show, come to the party, come in and show us that volume, show us that indication that the altcoins are ready to start moving. We have Doge up 10%, which is awesome. We have many others, guys. We have Chainlink getting a nice pop to the upside, 6%, 10% for AVAX. Really interesting. You know, to see AVAX wake up is really great because obviously it's one of the heavyweights that I'm interested in. We have Sui, a bit of a pop as well, 8%. And many others, guys. As you can see, we're up approximately, I would say on average, maybe about 5%. But some of the better projects that we've been focusing on the last little bit are up more, right? For example, Hyperliquid up almost 9% for the day. That's pretty good. 26% in the last 7 days. That's not bad. Of course, as we continue going down, you can see that really Hyperliquid is one of the better gainers in the last 7 days. So good stuff there. Near Protocol doing awesome, 8% for the day, and many good projects like Ondo, another one, 10%. Guys, I've been scaling into Ondo the last couple of weeks, and here we are, up 10%, and pretty good. So we can see if you're focusing on good projects, you're going to get rewarded. Stick with fundamentals, guys. Stick with projects that have good fundamentals, good track record, large market cap for now. Bit by bit, we'll start increasing our exposure to risk as we get confirmations of a continuation to the upside. And of course, traditionally, we start to see large caps run first, and then we'll have our moment to see rotation to lower level or up the risk curve when we start getting to riskier assets with smaller market cap. Okay, so bit by bit, Athena looking pretty good. Guys, Sonic is looking amazing, and this is one of the reasons why I want to talk about Shadow today, because Shadow is the main deck so far for Sonic. It was built specifically for Sonic. It wasn't like it came from Phantom and it's moving and transferring over to Sonic, but we are seeing other you know, dexes that were built for Phantom also migrate, and they're also doing very, very well. So keep that in mind. We also have Algorand looking pretty good, and many others, guys. Look, 7-8%, you know, some 5 and so on. You can see the market's looking awesome. Stacks looking good based on the Bitcoin narrative. Could we start seeing a Bitcoin narrative pump? Guys, that would be awesome to see the Bitcoin narrative reclaim some of its price action. A lot of the charts based on the Bitcoin narrative have been coming down for a bit of a dip, and a bit of you know, a move to the upside would be awesome for our portfolios. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. Let's begin by looking at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin is doing great. You got to admit, there's nothing wrong with this chart. Ultimately, Bitcoin could be coming down for a bit of a pullback, but really what we have to anticipate that, you know, pullbacks are meant to be bought. And if we do get a bigger picture pullback, how low do we go? Do we come down for a bear market bottom in the sense that we come down for this level right here? Or do we come down for a quick little retracement and start making higher highs and higher lows for a beautiful pivot to the upside? Guys, let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. So technically what I'm trying to say here is that Bitcoin retraced, you know, and many of us think that we're in a bear market. And I would say, okay, fine. We're in a bear market. We're in a bear market on lower time frames, on the 4 hour. And it's clear, right? We're still in a downtrend. And I'm still worried about what we have left in store here for the market. What I mean by that is, okay, we ran up really healthily. Guys, if you've been DCAing like I've been weekly, great. Awesome. You have your bags packed. You're ready to go. However, to take on more risk means to start getting into leverage, to start taking maybe margin positions, 3x leverages, and that's where I really shine as a trader. That's where I get into big positions when I see an opportunity of less risk, and we're there, guys. We're almost there. What would get me super interested is this, a dip. And I hate to be bearish again, but the reality is I want to see a confirmation low, a proper higher low, a low that suggests that the impulsive move that the bears have left in them is so weak that we come up higher. It could be a double bottom, ideally not a higher low. Maybe right around 80,000, maybe right around 82. I would like to see that happen. Hunt this little liquidity here, hunt this liquidity right here, and then stop, and then end right around in this zone. A nice failure. And then all of a sudden, we start to see this. Maybe we hesitate here, and then all of a sudden we form a confirmation. And what I would love to see after that is to break above this high, to see a pump above this high, right up here, back test and continue. And then ultimately what we start looking at is a beautiful rounded bottom. Beautiful rounded bottoms deserve our attention, and the reason why is because they usually lead to a perfect reversal, a nice reversal that we can get in with confidence and obviously take a lot more risk. And this is what I'm looking for. Now, it doesn't have to give it to me. We got to be real about this. The market doesn't offer us any securities or it doesn't offer us what we want. It does what it does, and we need to be able to respond accordingly. Now, this is the scenario where I would get super bullish, obviously, and I'm bullish right now. The problem is that I'm not willing to take that much risk. DCAing on spot is the only thing that I'm willing to do at the current moment, because we could run right into resistance at about 90,000, 91,000, right around here, and then finally come down for that dip. Wherever that dip lands, honestly, even if we come up here and get rejected and we come back to the exact same spot that we are right now, I don't mind, because I am going to be getting into a place where momentum gets reset. So again, coming back up, maybe we come up to this level, get rejected, come back down to the exact same spot, more or less, right into here, and I'll be happy to go along all day long into this level. Why? Because I received the confirmation that we are now potentially looking for another higher high, breaking above here, higher highs and higher lows. The trend is your friend. So this is another alternative, guys. Just because we're breaking out here doesn't mean that you have to get in right now. Wait for a bearish response. This is what I usually do, is wait for a bearish response. Now, it doesn't have to happen again. But statistically speaking, getting green lightsabers all the way to 120K is not going to happen, guys. We'll get a pullback one day, and that pullback is going to give us the absolute best confirmation to start taking risk. And even if we got a little bit of volume here today, guys, as you can see, Look at that. The reality is nothing in comparison to the past. And we're still on a downtrend. We're still consolidating here and waiting for an expansion, a proper expansion out of this level. This is not an expansion. This is a slow and steady grind to the upside. It is not an impulsive move. And every single impulsive move that we've had so far has been bearish. So I want to see where the bears are going to go with their next attempt of an impulsive move. And I'm hoping it's not a lower low. If it is a higher low, as I mentioned, guys, I'm going all in this space, and I'm going to be accumulating some great altcoins, and I'm going to be looking into potentially buying back into my Ethereum bags just in case Ethereum starts to run. I can easily take profit and rotate, because usually it is a leading indicator for an altcoin season. So just as a short-term trade, maybe buying ETH is not a bad idea. And I'm entertaining that idea for a quick move to the upside, and then slowly rotating that capital and that portfolio into smaller, larger cap altcoins. And all I'm looking at is other projects such as Sonic, right? Sonic is a great project. We've seen a lot of strength out of the Sonic team. Obviously, Andre's a G. He comes out with great updates, and he's obviously talking about algorithmic stablecoins. I don't know if the market is ready for that, but definitely quite an interesting topic that I would love to deep dive into that for sure. But then we start talking about DeFi. We start talking about speed and that whole speed narrative, and of course Shadow is where it's at. A lot of people are talking about Shadow, given that it was a custom DEX made for Sonic. Now, if you want to know more about Shadow, I do have a deep dive that is focuses on what Shadow is, and ultimately all the fundamentals like the tokenomics, the team, and all that good stuff. So feel free to check it out. I have links in the description, and obviously I have an entire deep dive playlist for you guys on the channel. But what's more important to understand is that there is competition for the main decks on Sonic. The thing is that none of them are really custom built for Sonic, and Shadow, that's where its main value proposition. And obviously it has others, some of its tech, in the sense that a locked up liquidity is not locked, essentially. There's no terms for lockup, which is great. But as you can see, price action is looking awesome as well. It's not just fundamentals, and you can see that the downtrend is so clearly defined. Very, very clear and defined. But however, as I mentioned here, and I just want to quickly point out that I did mention this before right on the Discord, and I have the video to show you. The video is right here, right into this level. As you can see, we do have the video that I produced and the chart that shows you that ultimately the entry was right here on the green arrow, right? Now, if you go back and you start looking at what is happening with the chart, we came down to this level perfectly, right around 63,000, ideal level for that bounce. We tagged it absolutely perfectly, and of course I've been scaling into this position for a good while, and if you've been following me on the Discord, you guys know exactly my whole thesis. And then all of a sudden we start to see a potentially higher high. What we have to understand is right now is that the market is currently looking for a transition. Transitionary phases are tough. And the reason why they're tough is because we don't know exactly what's going to be happening in the short term, in the sense that, are we actually going to make a higher high? We've made a higher low, guys. The market has given us a great signal here on the shadow chart with this higher low. As you can see, this right here, nice bottom, nice V recovery, rounded bottom type of thing. Adam and Eve, okay. Cup and handle, okay. Whatever you want to call it. Look at this, shoulder, head, shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, okay. Complex inverse head and shoulder, sure. Whatever you want to call it, guys, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what do we do here? After buying here, after accumulating here and doing your thing, now we're officially seeing a high that's not higher than this one. Okay, fine. But look what we're doing right here. We're currently testing the ability to start confirming a higher high after making this higher low. If we break above $95, which would be epic, of course, we start to introduce weak spots in the chart. There's weakness here and there's weakness here. Lots of resistance based on psychological levels like the $100 and so on. But really based on volume, there's not much volume. A few nodes right here, maybe a little node right here, but a lot of it is quite weak, which means that it's going to allow the price to continue moving up. Guys, there is a problem though. There is a problem. And the problem is that ultimately this chart is showing us that we're running right into resistance. Running right into resistance is not good, in the sense that, we're taking chances. Running into resistance means that you're buying the top, the local top. Running into resistance means that eventually you could be basically treated as exit liquidity with all these wicks right here. It doesn't look good. you can see that the sell pressure is strong, suggesting a reversal. And if it does happen, we could expect maybe even a test of these lows and making a little bit of a lower low in comparison to this low, but still somewhat higher than this low, which would still be fine, right? If we get rejected and come right around this level, make a higher low right here, and then go for another attempt, it would still be higher than this one, and we'll still have a higher low, and then we can still potentially make that higher high up here, and so on and so forth. That is the issue. Okay, so far so good, but you have to be a bit of a breakout trader. Okay, that's the problem, is I am not a breakout trader. I don't like buying breakouts because you're technically buying the local top. Now, if you look at momentum, it's definitely getting into overbought conditions. It is almost there in the sense that the majority of the move is in. Guys, if we continue moving in the overbought territory above the 70% mark here on this oscillator, guys, we're going to start running and flying. You're going to see shadow fly, and it's going to fly really hard. My only issue that I have in the short term is the volatility. The orange line is rolling over. And if we do get a full reset, that is your chance to get into maybe the last major pump for this breakout. Because if the purple line, let me just quickly show you what I mean about this purple line. If the purple line gets to this zone above the 70 into this territory, okay, and after a reset, maybe we come down and then we go into that territory. This reset right here will give you the opportunity to get in and still respect the upwards trajectory of the momentum. Expansion is green, nice and strong, as you can see, green expansion as we have done in the past. Let's see what happens. The last time we got that green expansion, we got a nice little pump to the upside. Very nice. Now let's go for another little pump to the upside. The only difference is that market conditions are different, right? We're seeing Bitcoin showing strength, Ethereum showing strength, the market is showing strength, and we're going to be above resistance showing strength. Okay, EMAs are facing up, green histogram bars, purple expansion to the upside. You can see we're in the bullish control zone after a trend to the upside. Guys, this is the moment. Okay, this is the moment that we actually explode, or we're going to wait for that little pullback to lower level. So what would I be doing here? The reality is I would be waiting for the 4-hour bearish response. And if you haven't been accumulating at these bottoms, as I suggested in the last little while, this is the problem. You have to be showing interest when the market gives you opportunity. And the actual opportunity to get in to shadow was right here at this green arrow. I couldn't have made it clearer for you. Okay, now all of a sudden, if we get rejected, the next level is back to the green arrow and, you know, hoping that we hold its support again. The likelihood is that we don't, and we come down for a slightly lower low, and then we hope once more that we do get some support here. Now, again, we could break out, and if you're a breakout trader, the best thing to do as a breakout is this. I'll show you what I mean, because there is a strategy even for breakout trading, and that strategy involves risk management. And because right now I'm going to ask you this: where are you going to put your stop loss? If you get in long right now, where are you going to put your stop loss? If you're going to start telling me that you're going to put a stop loss all the way down here at these bottoms, good luck, guys, because that dip is going to be quite large, and I'm going to show you what I mean. If we go long right now at resistance, guys, which is dangerous, you have to have risk management that's intact. You're coming down 31%. And then where's your reward? Okay, your reward could be that we get rejected right now. Again, just keep in mind, you're buying into resistance. And then your reward could be, okay, next level of resistance, maybe here, maybe right around here. I see this confluent zone. You can see that the ratio is 1-to-1. That's bad risk to reward ratio. You literally, to make this proper, at best, okay, you're looking for a $150 target, which would mean that technically we're going to start looking for a bull run or altcoin season here, because that's a big move. And still, the risk to reward ratio is not even the best. That's only 2-to-1. So what you're really saying is, by buying now, you expect this thing to go to all-time highs in price discovery. That's what you're saying. And that's quite risky, okay? And I'm not saying that it can't be possible, but if you are going to think this way, you should only be doing it based on spot and anticipate that you can improve your risk to reward ratio. So this is an option. Wait for that 4-hour dip and come in hot at the point of control right around here. And you can see, look at your ratio right now, much, much better. And even if you were modest and you said, okay, I'm going to be taking profit right here, it's still doable. 3-to-1, and it's still doable based on risk management, right? You want to get as close as possible to invalidation, which is this bottom. And I can imagine there's a lot of stops there that could be hunted, that market makers might want to come down and hunt. And if they do that, that second option is possible, where we come down for a bit of a move to the downside and we hit about $53. Okay, just worry about that zone. Now, from another bullish perspective, let's just put this aside, because we're thinking about setups right now and how we're going to play this market. Another good way to do it is let it break out. You know, let it break out, let it do its thing. Don't worry about breakout trading, and then get it on the back test. Do we have to get a back test? No, you might miss out. This thing might keep on running. It's possible. Statistical probability is that, you know, there's options that are going to play out, whether it keeps on running, pullback or not. There's all a probability. The thing is that from a risk to reward ratio opportunity, getting a pullback like this is ideal before a pump. And again, the market doesn't promise you anything. But if that's the case, you know where to put that stop loss. Again, entry right here on the back test, wherever it is, wherever that back test lands, and you put your stop loss right here, because if the price enters back into this structure, that is super bearish, guys. Closing the daily candle below, super bearish. So I mean, what I mean is if it comes back into here, it's super bearish. If it back tests and confirm rejection, super bearish. You want to get out of the trade in this zone, right? So that's exactly what I'm saying. But if we come here and back test and hold support, guys, that is pretty good. In fact, that would be the ideal place to start to see a major trend reversal. As you can see visually, it looks absolutely amazing for this to happen. Inverse head and shoulder, clear pivot to the upside. Is there bullish divergence here? Let's quickly check. Lower lows on the price action right into here, and we did get a bit of class C bullish divergence. We got a bit of follow through, then we came with the higher low, and then we continued trending to the upside when we got momentum so much to the point that we got overbought, which is great. And as I mentioned, EMAs are facing up, so there's a lot to say here on Shadow. It still is very speculative. The market cap is still very small, but you're buying based on the Sonic narrative. If you feel Sonic is going to do well as a L1, and especially now they're coming out, there's news that they're going to be coming out with their own DeFi platform, their own DEX, which is going to be a competitor to Shadow. But in the meantime, when that happens, we don't know when it's going to be released, if it's going to be next cycle or who knows how many years. The reality is we have Shadow right now that is offering a software solution that is worth our attention. And then on top of that, Andre has mentioned that perhaps we're going to be getting a stable coin, which is quite an algorithmic stable coin, which, guys, if there's anybody that's going to do it, I believe that it's him that's going to make it, that's going to pull it off. So ultimately, guys, it's bullish. Just the question is, do you buy on the breakout or do you buy on a retracement? You got to make your choices. And at the end of the day, DCAing is the best opportunity right now, especially as we're loading up for potential continuation to the upside in this market, as we see a bit of strength in the last 24 hours, 48 hours. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channels a massive favor. Slap the like button. I'm going to be live tonight at 8 p.m. EST talking about crypto news and price action. If you have any projects you want me to take a look at, that's a great time and place for you to make the requests, and we'll take a look at charts, guys. We're looking for setups that we can get into from a great healthy risk to reward ratio, from a position of strength. And of course, guys, feel free to slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.